Some people like to fall asleep listening to this audiobook. The color of the video is in a tone that does not bother the eyes while reading. Thanks for listening and welcome to the channel. Shadow of the Colossus, The Journey of Wander. Prologue, The Forbidden Land. There are places in the world that time has forgotten, lands where the past and present merge, and legends walk alongside reality. One such place, known as the Forbidden Land, is shrouded in mystery and darkness. It is said that it was once home to an ancient civilization whose ambition and power defied the very gods. They created colossi, giants made of flesh and stone, as guardians of their secrets. But this power was their downfall, and the land was cursed, sealed forever, isolated from the rest of the world. The few who dare to cross its borders do not return, swallowed by a darkness that whispers promises of power and forgotten warnings. It is to this land that Wander, a young warrior with a heart weighed down by pain, ventures. Riding Agro, his loyal horse, he carries the body of Mono, whom he loves deeply. She was unjustly sacrificed, and Wander is willing to do anything to bring her back, even if it means facing the terrors of the Forbidden Land. Chapter 1. The Pact with Dorman. Upon arriving at the shrine of worship, an ancient temple in the heart of the Forbidden Land, Wander places Mono's body on the central altar. He calls out to Dorman, a legendary being said to control death itself. The legends about Dorman are unclear. Some see it as a savior, others as a demon. But Wander is ready to risk everything. An ethereal voice answers his call, filling the temple with an overwhelming presence. Dorman offers Wander a chance to bring Mono back to life, but with one condition. He must destroy the 16 colossi that roam the land. Each colossus holds a fragment of Dorman's essence, sealed by ancient priests to prevent the entity's power from spreading again. Without hesitation, Wander accepts the pact. But before he can leave, Lord Eamon, a priest who once served the gods, arrives with his followers. Eamon knows the legends and understands the danger of freeing Dorman. He tries to stop Wander, warning him about the consequences. But Wander, blinded by love and pain, ignores the warnings and flees, determined to complete his mission. Chapter 2. The Weight of the First Battles. Wander's first journey takes him to a vast plain, where the first colossus, Valis, waits. This giant, made of flesh, stone, and moss, is a terrifying sight. But Wander moves forward, determined to keep his promise. The battle is tough, and the victory comes at a price. When Valis falls, a black substance emerges from the colossus's body and invades Wander, knocking him to the ground. He wakes up back at the shrine, but something has changed. With each colossus defeated, he feels weaker. His appearance deteriorates, and shadows begin to surround him. Despite this, he continues his mission, driven by his love for Mono and the promise he made. As Wander progresses, defeating more colossi, he starts to realize that the Forbidden Land is more than just a cursed place. He finds ruins of an ancient civilization, murals that tell the story of a war between gods and men, and the creation of the colossi to guard a power that should not be touched. Wander begins to question if he is doing the right thing, but his determination remains unshaken. Chapter 3. Encounters with the Past. As Wander continues his journey, he begins to have visions of the past. He sees the Forbidden Land as it once was, vibrant and full of life. He also sees the arrogance of the ancient inhabitants. They challenged the gods, trying to use Dorman's power to achieve immortality. But the gods responded with fury, destroying the civilization and sealing Dorman in the colossi. This turned the land into a dark desert. These visions disturb Wander, causing him to question his mission. He remembers Lord Eamon's warnings, but realizes it is too late to turn back. With each colossus defeated, he feels Dorman's presence growing inside him, corrupting his soul. Yet, his love for Mono is stronger than any doubt or fear. Wander continues, even knowing he is nearing a point of no return. During one of the most intense battles, Wander is seriously injured. Agro, his loyal horse, saves him by taking him back to the shrine. There, Wander is confronted again by visions of the past. This time he sees Mono, whose life was taken out of fear that she was cursed. Wander realizes that Mono was seen as a threat by the ancient priests. However, he refuses to accept this fate. Chapter 4. The Final Battle. When Wander finally approaches the last colossus, Malus, he is almost unrecognizable. His body is weak, his skin pale, and his eyes, once full of life, are now deep and dark. But he is so close to fulfilling his promise that pain and fear no longer matter. Malus, the largest and most powerful of the colossi, guards the final part of Dorman's essence. The battle is epic, with lightning cutting through the sky and the very ground shaking under the giant's weight. Wander knows this is his last chance to save Mono. He also realizes the price might be his own soul. With one last burst of strength, Wander defeats Malus, but the result is catastrophic. The black energy that emerges from the colossus is unlike anything he has experienced before. It consumes him completely. Wander feels himself being pulled into darkness as his consciousness begins to fade. Chapter 5. The Transformation. When Wander wakes up, he is no longer the same. Dorman has taken over his body, transforming him into a dark creature, a hybrid of man and colossus. Lord Eamon and his followers, who had been watching from a distance, act to try to seal Dorman once again, as Wander fights against Dorman's possession. He sees Mono finally awaken, but instead of joy, he feels deep sadness, knowing the price to bring her back was too high. Even so, he struggles to regain control of his body, determined to protect Mono from any danger, including from himself. Seeing Wander's internal struggle, Lord Eamon decides to seal Dorman back in the shrine. He casts a powerful spell, trapping Dorman and Wander in a sealed chamber. Before the spell completes, Wander, now in his last moments of consciousness, manages to see Mono one last time. A gentle smile appears on his face. Chapter 6. Wander's Legacy. The temple begins to collapse, but Mono, now awake, manages to escape. She finds Agro, who takes her to a safe place. As she walks through the ruined temple, Mono hears echoes of Wander's sacrifice. She feels a deep connection with the baby she finds on the altar. With small horns on its head, the baby is a mix of innocence and darkness, a symbol of Wander's sacrifice. Mono decides to take the baby with her, protecting it from the outside world. She knows the baby's future will be complicated, but believes it carries some of Wander's spirit. She hopes this spirit can bring hope to a dark world. Chapter 7. A New Dawn. As Mono and Agro leave the Forbidden Land, they travel through a landscape that begins to show signs of life. The once barren ground starts to bloom, and the wind carries not only the sadness of the past, but also the promise of a new beginning. Holding the baby in her arms, Mono moves forward, determined to honor Wander's sacrifice. She knows the path ahead will be full of challenges, but is aware she carries the strength of someone who challenged the gods and won, not with power, but with love and sacrifice. And so, in a land forgotten by time, Wander's story becomes a legend. It is a tale of love, sacrifice, and redemption that will be told for generations.